Yo, what's going on, guys, right? So, today is April 5th, the 96th day of the year. And as I often show on my YouTube page or videos I post on TikTok, I show these quote-unquote coincidences, or whatever you want to believe it to be, of the Matrix. And basically what I'm saying here is today's the 96th day of the year, and look at the story we get in the news today. The story was published about 2 hours ago, and it says right here, Panthers signing Pro Bowl DT Derek Brown to 4 years, $96 million extension. So this guy gets a $96 million extension, right, on the 96th day of the year. All right. Interesting stuff, right? So again, if you have eyes to see and ears to hear, you will eventually come around and understand that this stuff isn't arbitrary or coincidental. And, that's just my opinion on it. Again, it's my perception about what's going on. Perspective, I guess, right? So, 96th day of the year, and he gets a $96 million extension. Pretty interesting, if you ask me. So I had to take a screenshot of this because it kept popping up to subscribing to, San Francisco Chronicle. It kept giving me an ad to sign up, but I was able to get the screenshot. But again, April 5th, the 96th day of the year. Nearly 96% of students at the San Francisco school are chronically absent. His job, get them back to class. So again, another story about 96 on the 96th day of the year. And again, what are the odds of all this, right? So I do understand that if you do look hard enough, you will find things that line up. But again, what are the odds is really the question that I'm posing here. So, it is interesting to me that, this stuff lines up the way it does. And again, it's up to the viewer to come to their own conclusions with this type of material. Do you think it's a coincidence? Do you think man's manipulating the numbers in the news? Or, just how Kabbalah states, God created the world by merging letters, numbers, and words and vibrations. Maybe it is the way God works. Maybe, this said thing is how the universe communicates with people. So, there's three different options. It could be man playing God, or if you choose to believe the latter, which is, how God communicates, then, so mote it be. But again, 96 and 96% of the students, kind of interesting. So here's another story. This person, Kinder Transport refugee, Hella Pick, dies at age 96. And if you look at the stamp right here, you can clearly see April 5th is when the story was published. And again, today the 96th day of the year. And I do understand for the person out there who goes, but she was old, and I understand all that. Believe me, people die every day. I get it. But again, what are the odds of that, right? You're dead on the 96th day of the year and you're 96? Okay. Again, nobody is claiming that these are fake news stories, but some of the stuff is contrived and some of it's organic, what I like to call the organic matrix. And this very well may be an organic coincidence. So there's no reason to get freaked out about it. It's just sometimes that's the way the universe works. It's, people, come and go. They people are born and people die. But again, what I find interesting is the numbers behind it. So if you guys can follow along, great. And if not, for the person who doesn't understand this, feel free to ask questions. And I'll try to educate you the best way that I can. being that I've studied this for like 7 years. I've studied numerology, gematria, Kabbalah, Hermeticism. And again, when I get on here and I speak publicly, public speaking, I try to, again, let people know about this, this code, Some people call it the God code. And you guys can read up on it if you like, or feel free to comment or whatever, but, at the end of the day, it isn't all in my head. I'll tell you that. So I'm not going to spend too much time on this one, but, again, 96-year-old, amongst the oldest runners at upcoming World 10K in the city. Again, published April 5th, being the 96th day of the year because it's a leap year. But again, I'm not going to waste too much time on things like this. It's, again, 96 on the 96th day of the year. And here's an interesting one. Look at this. This prickly new material literally pops viruses with up to 96% success. And again, the story published on the 5th of April. So, what are the odds of that, right? 96th day of the year, 96% success. So, to me, it's very interesting that, all these 96s are in the news on the 96th day of the year. So, again, the main question you really want to ask yourself is, what are the odds? I mean, for the trolls out there who say, oh, it's 100% that it'll happen all the time. Well, how come 5 stories that I just showed are all the same thing? So again, you gotta go back to the drawing board with that. But, yeah, keep following the channel and again, follow the channel for a year and then come to your own conclusions. I make rational and logical statements about this type of stuff, so